some basic principles of how do you make a good law? How do you make a good regulation? And he said it all comes down to three core principles. The first one is it fair? Does everybody think it's fair? Does it apply to everybody the same way? Okay. Second one is simplicity. Is the law easy to understand? Is it easy for the public to understand? And is it easy for the government to enforce? Third principle, certainty. The laws applied this year, is it going to be applied the same way next year? Or if I'm dealing with a different member of government, are they going to apply it differently? So where do we stand here? Is the issue today harmony? And I'm going to suggest to everybody the issue today is not harmony at all, because we all believe in harmony. It's the reason why we have zoning districts and zoning codes. It's why single family and multifamily residential districts are different from commercial districts. They all have their own sense of harmony. So the issue today is not harmony. The issue is how do we apply harmony in a reasonable way to our single family districts? We want things that fit in a neighborhood, that give us a sense of this neighborhood has a degree of consistency. Nothing is grossly too big. Some houses are very small. Some are going to be much larger, especially over time. Right now, for people who don't understand this, the harmony codes are not what prevents height, setbacks, rules like that. Those are the old rules. Those are our basic codes in town. So the question really comes down to how are we applying this extra definition of harmony right now? And that's the crunch here today. So let's take a look at some specific examples here. Not everybody realizes this perhaps, but this 300-foot rule, the way it's implied is very significant. You put your compass down on a point and you draw a 300-foot circle around it. So keep in mind, folks, every single house on your street has a different point on that compass. That means every single house on that street is in a different zoning district effectively when it comes to harmony. So while it makes sense, people talk about let's have a whole district be harmonious. What you're saying is every single house has a different definition on the street. Is that fair? Does that make sense? My house and the house across the street have different rules and regulations? I don't think so. To me, that fails the fairness test. Look at it another point of view. My neighbor's house next to me, my house. My neighbor's house includes these houses on Ocean Drive, and I'm just a little bit to the left of that, and they're not in my district. So my neighbor wants to build a bigger house. My neighbor gets permission from staff using all their calculations and their numbers. He's allowed to go to 4,000 feet. But what happens to me? Nope, those houses are not in my district. His circle's a little bit bigger. It happens to cover the bigger houses. Nope, they tell me, nope, you're restricted to 3,000 square feet. He gets to do something completely different from me. Fair? No, that's not fair. Nobody's going to say that's fair. But that's the way the current system is going into effect. That's not right. Another way to look at this, within my circle of 300 square feet, what happens if a new house is built, or what happens if an old house is taken down? Keep in mind, anytime any house within my circle, 300-foot circle, gets built bigger or smaller than me, my permission to do something either gets bigger or smaller with that, because the averages then for my district are going up and down. Is that fair? I had no control over whether they built or not, but that's going to change what I can do. Not fair. Second one of Adam Smith's principles, certainty. Do I know what I'm going to be able to do 6 months from now or a year from now? No, because I don't know what other houses are going to go up or down in my district. Let me take another example. We had the case of Neptune Road up on our screens before, and I noticed that for one set of houses on Neptune Road there's 5 houses next to each other, single-family ranch houses. Suppose one of those people wants to build a second story. Well, I want you all to think for a second. Suppose you're the middle of those 5 houses. You want to build a second story. According to our rules right now, as staff has been presenting, if I applied to build a second story on my house, I'm going to be told no, because the 2 houses on either side of you are single-story houses. You're going to be out of whack with them. You're not going to be in harmony. The answer is no, you can't do it. What about the 2 people next to me on either side? If either of them goes to town staff and says, I want to build a second story, can I do it? Well, yeah, you can, because the rule is if there's 2 houses on either side that are singles, you can't go up. But in your case, there's only 1 house on that side that's a single story, not 2. You can go ahead and do it. So I'm the middle guy here. For right now, I'm trapped. I can't put up my second story. Those guys on either side, yeah, they can do it because they're not with 2 houses on either side. To me, again, this isn't fair. This is not the way to make regulations. So this present system, this 300-foot system, to me, fails the 3 tests. These rules are not fair. They're certainly not simple. You have no clue what's going to be happening. And as somebody mentioned before, planning and zoning board members change, okay? You could apply right now to the P&Z board and get approval with the 2025 board members. What happens next year There's a new council election, one council seat changes, there's a different member of the P&Z board, all of a sudden, permissions change because you got a different set of people voting. Again, this is not certain. This is not fair. This is not the way to run a town. So what do we do in this case? I would argue today, if we could all agree that the current 300-foot system is for the birds, and we need to get rid of that first. That's a way to move forward here. And thanks.